Hello everyone. This video is for information and for public education. For a while I've been thinking in depth about the correlation between slavery and the prison industrial complex. I jotted down a few notes that just came to mind and did a little research, some research that I had done years ago, but also some continued research. And I found that there are like 4 or 5 points that you must be aware of. There's the historical continuity, which shows the disproportionate plight of blacks and minorities who were arrested and sentenced and incarcerated. The systematic racism, which both slavery and prison industrial complex targets blacks and other minority communities. And also the economic exploitation, which involves the forced labor of black individuals for economic gain. The prison industrial complex has been exploited because it uses individuals for labor while they are incarcerated. You have the criminalization of blackness, where black individuals has historical roots in perception of black people or blackness being inherently criminal. This perception contributed to the justification of slavery and later served as basis for racial profiling and unfair treatment in the criminal justice system. Also, if you look at the disenfranchisement, you see that slavery and the prison industrial complex have both led to the disenfranchisement of black individuals. Now, during the height of the Confederacy, 75% of the world's cotton was produced in the southern states, along with tobacco and sugarcane. Whites benefited because of slavery and its free labor, and it created more millionaires per capita in the Mississippi River Valley than anywhere else in the nation. During the Jim Crow era, various methods were used to prevent black people from voting, and today many states still deny voting rights to incarcerated and formerly incarcerated individuals. The U.S. incarcerates more people than any other industrialized country. Let that sink in. The U.S. incarcerates more people than any other industrialized country. Slavery's economic impact was significant as it contributed to the growth of American prosperity in agriculture and manufacturing. In the 1960s, there were only 360,000 people incarcerated throughout the U.S. But during the war on drugs, those numbers tripled, affecting blacks disproportionately than any other nationality. Just as white Southerners benefited economically from slavery's free labor, many today benefit economically from the prison industrial complex, since many of the facilities are privatized. During the war on drugs, there were rumors that the CIA itself was responsible for flooding the inner city with crack cocaine. And keep in mind, this would not be outside of the norm, since it was the U.S. government who infected blacks with syphilis during the Tuskegee experiment, as well as earlier experiments during Guatemala. So as we look at this, we should understand that in the eyes of some people, you're just still like a runaway slave. They're just looking for an opportunity to round you up and to actually put you back in a system of servitude. So as I conclude, the correlation between slavery and the prison industrial complex, it serves in terms of systematic racism, economic exploitation, and the criminalization of black individuals. If you look at it, you would see that it affects black and brown communities to the point where these communities can never recover, they can never prosper, and they're always the target of heavy-handed policing and other tactics that other neighborhoods and other nationalities never have to endure. So let that sink in, the correlation between slavery and the prison industrial complex. It's almost as if slavery, in some form, never ended.